Hello and welcome to the final installment of the CDNN for Survival 5. I am XP Modder.
And I am Montinator, here to bring you the latest on all things Dogcraft.
In case you're living under a rock and haven't heard the news, the Survival 5 season of Dogcraft is coming to an end. Sur 6 is announced to start between October 1st and October 15th, 2023. So let's hurry up and dive into this jam-packed episode full of many surprises. The transport networks have once again made a huge amount of progress this month. Many of the networks have been working hard to finish their projects before the end of the season.
Survival 5 lasted for nearly 2 whole years. Let's take a look at how much the transportation networks have evolved.
The CRN's efforts over the last month have finally paid off in September, with a lot of stations and lines being opened in some truly gigantic openings. On the 17th of September, a giga opening was held by Hadi Hiemihi on Corgi, opening stations on the main lines, the Corgi coastline, and even some branch line stations. Let's take a look. One week later, on the 23rd, it was time for Labrador's mega opening, which saw us traveling the east and west main lines, the entire ring line, and parts of James Longstrider's Labradepth underground railway network. Let's also take a look at that.
So cool.
You were so confused the first time you were here, and then we just like, now it has...
Now to some slightly sad news from the CRN. With the Survival 6 season now upon us, and only having 2 worlds, the CRN and SRN saw themselves faced with a problem. How would 2 railway networks handle the situation of only half the number of worlds we have been used to? Already in August, some of the CRN's Discord admins and senior members sat down with the SRN conductor and line managers to discuss this topic. The CRN and SRN have decided to merge into one railway network under the SRN banners with the start of Sur 6. The fact that we are going to operate under the SRN banners, however, does not mean that the CRN's ideas and achievements will be lost. We have agreed that we want to take the aspects of the CRN, especially its community-oriented operation, and apply them to the SRN. We will attempt to make planning of lines and stations more public and make it easier for players to build their own stations and/or lines. Furthermore, the new SRN will consist of people from both networks, with the new line managers being Expat Adam, Darparniox, Abwam, Montinator, Skeleton123, Hadi Hiemihi, Minda905, and myself, XP Modder. Additionally, a few other people who have been very active in the CRN will be given the role as Exhausted Engineers, formerly known as SRN Consultants, allowing them to interact with the line managers and managers of the other transport networks more directly. Unfortunately, that of course means that the CRN will effectively cease to exist with the start of Sur 6. But its ideas and community-oriented nature will live on in the changes made to the SRN, and its accomplishments will be remembered by all of us and will forever become part of the history of Dogcraft. Finally, and as always, I want to thank everyone who helped with the CRN in any capacity. A huge thank you to everyone who donated materials to the CRN or to a specific CRN project. A huge thank you to everyone who helped build a line or a station. A huge thank you to everyone who showed up to the openings and celebrated our achievements with us. The hugest of thank yous to everyone who built an entire station and or line for the CRN, and to all those who helped steer the CRN. Starting with Nick Matthew 63 for founding the CRN, Hadi Himihi for essentially managing the whole Corgi CRN, and taking on the role as Discord admin, and to Minda905, who, although quietly and slowly, but kept the CRN running more or less on her own for a few months before I showed up, and kept more or less managing Corgi before Hadi Himihi joined us. Without all of you, we would have never been able to build such a big railway network. I am beyond grateful for everything this community and the CRN has done for me during Sur 5, and I'm excited for the new season. I hope to see you all around in Sur 6 and wish all the best to all those that the new rules will leave behind. I'm XP Modder, and this was the last CRN update.
Welcome to the final SRN update segment of Survival 5. As we wrap up construction on the Shepherd and Akita networks, let's take a look at what the SRN team has been up to in the final month of the server.
On Shepherd, the final set of stations were completed and opened by Slow in 1994 and Abraham, with the city of Leon finally opening its railway station, alongside lines to several regencies such as West Point, Elysian Meadows and Sunshine Harbour. The other Survival 5 city, Kalon, would also see its station open as part of the Shepherd Ring Line.
Akita had a mega opening on the 2nd of September, opening 15 stations, which was a record at the time. It saw the southeastern portion of the Ring Line finally open up alongside several branch line stations at Deathfall Valley and Highland Heights. Buddy Holly Station, the third on the east line, would open alongside them with a branch line to Mark Laspuff's base opening too. To wrap up the evening, I would open the next 4 stations on the west line, the culmination of over 8 months of work.
Later on in the month, the final SRN opening of Survival 5 would see 3 more stations added as part of the Northeast Ring Line on Akita. These were Sunbeam Station, Northeast Station and Green Coast Station. This opening on the 27th of September marked the last activity for the SRN on Survival 5.
So now, let's look ahead to Survival 6. What is next for the SRN? Well, we are delighted to say we'll be merging with the incredible people on the CRN team, which will give us a full slate of 8 line managers, so we can go into Sur 6 ready to go. The 8 will be split over 2 worlds, with Expect Adam, Skeleton 123, XP Modder and HD Kamichi taking 1 world, while Depaniox, Ibwam, Montator and Minzo 905 will take over the second.
As much as we are excited for the future, we are saddened to say that due to Dogcraft's new 18+ policy, we will be saying goodbye to 2 of our line managers, Slowmo 1994 and Z-Taze. They have both been incredible contributors to the SRN for years, and we will genuinely miss their faces in Survival 6. So to the both of you, thank you for all you have done, and please, don't be a stranger.
As much as it saddens me to leave the Survival Railway Network, I am very excited for what is yet to come in Survival 6. I will still be around in Discord and hopefully could return back in the near future. All I know is that whatever the other line managers have planned would never disappoint you, and I hope to see the project grow and expand even more.
We are very excited for what the future will bring for the SRN, and we hope you will stick with us as we push forward into Survival 6. So, for one last time on Survival 5, this is the SRN team signing off. Choo choo!
Wow, so much progress there, and so much they have evolved over the time of this season. On some more transportation news. The CRN SRN station competition ended at the end of August, and the stations were judged. So let's take a look at the winners and the stations they built.
Let's get straight to it. On the first place, Elasmathania won with his station Paradis Paladin on Labrador. What an amazing build.
And on the second place, we have Ophelia with her Time Station on Shepherd. Another amazing build there.
In third place, we have a tie between Sarah Pantera 100 with Sunbeam Station on Akita, and the team of Mika Panda and Trainer Moon with their station, Train Station, on Corgi.
And finally, on the fourth place, Necrovecro with their station, Wild Ruins on Corgi. Congratulations to the winners, and a huge thanks to all the participants.
On the 9th of September, the gaming area Puppy Park finally opened its doors to the public in a special event lasting an entire day. The opening saw the culmination of 7 months of work, with various players joining throughout the day to play games such as minigolf, spleef, boat billiards, partial chaos, and many more. The day ended with a special fireworks display. A huge congrats to Hadi Kemiki, Zambaka, and XP Modder for leading the Puppy Park project. It is easily one of the coolest areas on Survival 5 and truly embodies what the community is all about. Welcome back! We're here in the interview room and we're joined once again by Lightning Strike. Welcome back to the CDNN, Lightning. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here as ever.
So, there's some big things going on. Obviously, the reset is imminent now. The CSC's had a great run on Survival 5, and obviously we're looking towards Survival 6 now. And we're going to answer some questions today, right?
If you have them to ask me.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm going to fire away. So my first question would be, looking back on Survival 5, are you proud of how the CSC has grown over the course of the season?
More than proud. More than proud. I'm astounded, honestly. Astounded, shocked, and, well, as you say, deeply, deeply proud. The community has blown me away. We had nothing but a set of bold ideas on Survival 4, and the way that's been transformed into such a presence on every single survival world on this iteration of Dogcraft has been nothing short of marvelous. We have so many people in the coalition to credit for that. To all of them, I can't thank you enough. You've made a long-held dream a reality.
It's been great to see, right? Like, it feels like port building and the CSC in general is kind of become ingrained in the server culture now, which is really cool to see.
I certainly hope so. It's been a long time coming. The obvious mode of transport missing from the list, and now it's here.
It's here, that's right. And I mean, there's been a lot of great moments over Survival 5, but for you, what was the high point of the CSC during this season?
I mean, as you say, there are lots of moments. Personally, I'm really proud of the opening of West Fireport. That's my own addition to the network. I've loved seeing so many people come out to port openings. Akita Spawn, in particular, is a highlight. It sort of kicked everything off. But I think that the proper high point, the high point, surely has to be the Connected Seas competition. I mean, probably still the biggest event on this iteration of Dogcraft. 40 plus people coming to the awards ceremony, 15 separate ports built from just about, well, from such a very few beforehand, and some of the first on some of the worlds. There was such an energy, such a drive in that month or so of time to put the CSC on the map, and we did it. We achieved that beyond all doubt. I was so thrilled to be there.
It was just one of those moments I think will go down in like the server history. I mean, I've played on this server for a long time. That was easily one of my favorite moments, not just of Survival 5, but of, you know, the entire time I've played on the server. It was just a great time.
I've seen nothing like it. I quite agree. All the time I've been here on Dogcraft, as the emotions I felt back then, nothing really compares.
Yeah, and looking to the future now, Survival 6 is just on the horizon. There has been some big news with the transport networks. We're obviously all merging into the same Discord now. The SRN Discord is being rebranded as the Dogcraft Transport Discord, and obviously the CSC is going to be a part of that now. So are you looking forward to what that'll bring for the CSC?
I am. I really am. I admit I was a little apprehensive going in. I was concerned about the CSC's identity, but the people in the other transport networks, they really made, I think, the CSC and its goals a major priority. They made me feel at home, and they are doing good work. They've taken action to ensure that the unique culture of the coalition isn't lost, that it's celebrated along with the other transport networks. And with that secure, I think the cooperation and the shared achievement that a proper joining of the transport networks, communications, resources, activities can engender, I think it's going to make a huge difference to what we can achieve come Survival 6. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens there. Really looking forward to it.
Absolutely, it should be a very good time.
Breaking news. The CDNN reports that Montonator will take over from Lightning Strike as the new CSC captain for the start of Survival 6. And let's remember, blame Monty.
Well, this is a little bit of a change of roles here. I'm in the hot seat now.
Yes, thank you, Montonator, for coming to join us from all the way over on from all the way over from the interviewer's chair to be with us on CDNN. It's great to have you here.
Thanks. I'm not around here often. It's a great privilege to be here. Yeah.
You've obviously been in the Master Navigator role for the CSC for a long time now, a whole year. How have you been feeling since you knew you were going to be taking the helm of the coalition as a whole? It's a step up, to be sure.
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely a larger sense of responsibility to know that you're kind of in the helm, so to speak, and you're in charge of kind of making those final calls and kind of directing the network through the future. But I'm very excited about it. I think Survival 5 has been fantastic for the growth of the CSC. We've got some great plans going forward into Survival 6, so I'm really excited to be taking on this role, and hopefully I'll do it justice and it'll be a good time next, sir.
Okay. So speaking of the next instance of Dogcraft Survival, we can exclusively reveal going to be taking up the title of captain for the coming survival season, which has to give you a bit of a spring in your stride. What can people expect from you and your leadership style during your upcoming captaincy?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very exciting prospect, and I've kind of been involved in transport projects on the server for a good few years now, so I've kind of got an idea of how I run things. I really like to try and make things all about the community. I think that's the bottom line. I think the CSC is a really good opportunity for that. Trying to encourage port building from everyone. It's quite a loose organization. It's quite easy for people to get involved, and encouraging that as much as possible, because these people in the future, they could be master navigators. They could lead the project far into the future. Like, it's important to kind of safeguard that future. So want to try new things. We had build sessions recently to trial how that works. Definitely want to do more of them next, sir. I think we'll have some fun things with designing the new spawn ports, try and get people involved in that. All in all, just try and make it a fun experience for people to get involved in.
Awesome. And how are you going to elevate the CSC on Survival 6 beyond what it has accomplished on Survival 5?
Yeah, so I mean, looking back on the CSC, there's been like stepping stones. Survival 4 was like the prototype, kind of getting our bearings. I think Survival 5, we really got the ports like down to a science now. People know how to build a port, people are good at it. It's very much in the server culture now. Survival 6, really want the focus to be on developing that infrastructure to actually make it a network. So more canals, want to try some glacier ducts and aqueducts and really experiment with what we can do with the CSC, maybe access more inland areas, because maybe we can get everything connected to the CSC, regardless if it's on the coast or if it's in the middle of a desert. Like it's definitely something that we can try. So I think focusing on infrastructure next world, as well as already experience with the ports, is going to be good going forward.
Ambitious plans, Captain, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely. Go big.
Well, I do have to ask, that's all well and good in terms of the project as a whole, but personally speaking, Montenator, or Captain Montenator, what are you most looking forward to about Survival 6 for the CSC?
I'm really just kind of looking forward to working with the new team of people that we're going to have on the network. We have some new faces that will be joining us. Lots of people you'll probably already know. I think it's going to be great having a full team ready to go for Survival 6, and working with them, getting to know them better, and trying to make the best network we can. Should be really fun.
Well, thank you very much, Montenator, Captain Montenator, as I say. Looking forward to seeing much more of you in the future on the server.
That's the plan. It's onwards and upwards from here.
May the wind catch your sails well.
Breaking news. The CDNN confirms that the brand new team of CSC Master Navigators for Survival 6 will be XP Modder, HD Kamichi, Alas Motharium 1, and It's the Creeper.
Alright, so you heard right. The CSC is bringing in 4 brand new Master Navigators for Survival 6. They are It's the Creeper, HD Kamichi, Alas Motharium 1, and XP Modder. We're lucky to have 3 of them here today. Welcome to the CDNN, all of you. I know one of you is here very regularly. Welcome to the other 2 as well. It is great to have you on the CSC. Obviously, this is a kind of unique position right now, because even though I'm like interviewing you, we're all kind of part of the same team. So I guess it's just more of a discussion. But if you all want to introduce yourselves, we can start with Kemi, and we can just kind of say who you are and what you're excited about for the CSC next, sir.
I'm Hadi Kemishi. I'm also a SRN line manager next server, and my really big goal is to interconnect both the SRN and the CSC next server as more like an interconnected network instead of 2 completely separate ones.
That would be great, honestly, yeah. What about yourself, Alice?
Oh, you filthy land rats. I aspire to explore all the unknown seas of the next season, and you shall help us build the ports, build the taverns, build the ships. We will make the sea the greatest sea of all times.
Love it, absolutely love it. And of course, XP.
Yeah, me. Yeah, for the CSC, I've always thought it's quite a unique transport network in a way, because it doesn't need any pathways, rails, or any sort of real thing to connect two ports together. All you need is some way of getting there by water, and I hope we can spread it further, and we can also find good ways to allow people to navigate the waterways of Dogcraft in Sur 6.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great to have all three of you on board for the next survival, and Creeper, of course, as well. So thanks so much for joining us, guys. We'll see you around, I'm sure.
Set sails.
Welcome to Weather with Wagon. Today, even with an impending server reset, we are never going to give up on bringing you the latest weather forecast. This time on Labrador. The fantastical mist and fog patches are never going to let you down in Elismera. It will eventually be lifted and cleared with a sunrise at 6. The rays are expected to glisten over the lavender roofs of this town for a picturesque start to anybody's morning. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg will be experiencing quite the downpour and fall in temperature. The storm will roll throughout the middle of the day, so don't run around and desert your reindeer. It will be slippery and wet. We hope that the weather at Gladiaroc won't make you cry as much as pronouncing the name. It will be cloudy, but largely dry. Still decent weather to take a stroll and admire the colossal Maui head. With Survival 6 on the horizon, this may be our last forecast for the 4 worlds. But we're never going to say goodbye. Expect us back. After all, we'd never lie and hurt you. I've been your host, Dragonfire, and this has been Weather with Wagon. Over to you, Monty and XP.
As exciting as it is to start fresh on a new world, this reset is particularly bittersweet. The sweet part, the prospect of a new world and all the new ideas and projects that will come from it. The bitter, all the friends who won't be coming with us to the next world.
To all our under 18 players, we want to say a huge thanks to everything you've done to make Dogcraft what it is. You know who you are. Many of you are absolute pillars of this community, and it will be very hard going into the new world without you. Don't be a stranger, and maybe we'll see you on the server again someday in the future. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to the CDNN every month. We'll be back and ready to cook again in Survival 6, so we hope you join us there.
Over the past year, the rebooted CDNN has released 8 episodes and featured many guests as we tried to cover the latest stories and developments on the server, while having some fun along the way. Again, we want to give thanks to our CDNN team who have helped produce these episodes over the course of the year, and for TXP for taking the leap to reboot the CDNN at the start of the year. We also want to thank William278 for his continued help behind the scenes.
That's all from us today at the CDNN. We'll see you all in the new world, Cyberdogs. Right, XP, pack your things. Grab that camera, Abe. Philip, Z Dragon, let's get out of here. Onwards to Survival 6.